Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to our anime review. Today we're looking at the Ancient Magus Bride episode 24, which wraps up the season possibly, or the series. I'm going to presume the season. I'm going to presume that. But we have no confirmation for season 2 or anything like that, so I don't know if it will be a season 2, which is kind of unfortunate. I hope there is one. But what we had here, even if it didn't have a season 2, was perfectly fine. I actually enjoyed it. We have the continuation between the fight between Chisei and Kalia / Joseph. And it kind of climaxed into a point that, even though Chisei is a lot hardcore, now because she's like stronger both will and power wise, she was not able to stop them on her own. Luckily, Elias and Ruth saved the day to a certain degree. And we find out that the wish between both Chisei and Elias was that she would bind their souls together, when they were together. So this way, nothing would be like, okay, so he can escape somehow, or, God forbid if they couldn't somehow stop his power from going out of control because, he is stronger than her, they could still take him down somehow. And lo and behold, it did happen. I'm a little bit unclear, and hopefully one of you guys can answer this question for me a little bit, because I really wasn't 100% sure, but it seems like she took upon herself the what I want to say is kind of Joseph's energy / his like spirit, and infused that into her, which in turn took away her dragon essence and all that. But in the same token, though, what actually was that? Like, we see that Joseph is now resting in the bottom of the well. He's not per se dead. He's just more so hurt and maybe just out of energy. But as the one guy who's fully masked said, it's like, oh, he found finally a place to rest. But I don't fully understand how they did that, and I think that was like the only thing that was kind of confusing about that. So please let me know in the comments below and kind of have patience with me a little bit with that, because I just didn't really understand it. I think that was not bad per se. It's just, it felt a little confusing to me. But what I loved about this week's episode and how it ended was that we have a camaraderie / a real relationship now formed between Elias and Chisei, where they even had like she had the wedding dress on and the wedding veil and everything, and they gave rings to each other even though the rings were on the wrong fingers. But the thing is the symbolism behind it. Chisei fully loves Elias, and she even says that no matter what, even if we go our separate ways in terms of like our thought process, if we butt heads with each other, we will always understand each other, find some way to find common ground. And the rings are actually going to let them always be able to find out where they are from one another. So that's really nice and cute. And, Elias was like, I know that I probably will go out of control again, possibly because, I care about you so much, but can you still love me? And can you still be my wife? And she's like, yes. She flat out admitted it with, more or less. I like how she said, let's continue our paths together, walk on the same path together. I thought that was so adorable. And that the whole speech that she had about how her life changed so much when he bought her was very, dramatic. And I know for some people that might be kind of weird, it's like she was bought, but at the same token, it wasn't, it wasn't meant to be like that per se. Maybe it started off in a way that, seemed like that, but there was genuine something there, and it happened, and it became something so much more. And I truly loved the romance element of the Ancient Magus Bride. It's probably one of my favorite things about the show, to be honest with you. Even how we got the last part of the ending where we see the very, very end credits of them going back home, and she goes, "I'm home." It was just so simple. It's so satisfying overall. I really did love it. I will say that the Ancient Magus Bride was nearly perfect in my mind. It had its rough episodes here and there. Only like 1 or 2 episodes I had some issues with. But out of the 24 episodes, 22 of them at least, in my mind, were perfect. And I had no issues with them. That's why, this was a hard thing for me to review, because not only the animation was perfect in my mind. I love the animation. The music was great. The voice acting was great. The story was good, and it was very unique in its many ways and used concepts that we've seen in other tropes and other themes, but they did a very interesting twist with a lot of the stories and a lot of concepts. So it made for a more interesting and more unique story overall. But, it just was one of these stories that you really got hooked to. And every week I anticipated something from it. And every week I got some new form of emotion from that episode. If it was not from just a sorrow factor to genuine joy to, moments of bittersweet essences here and there. It's one of the few shows that have done that to me. That's why, for me, I was thinking, how do I rate this show? Because it's not perfect. I'm not going to give it an A+. It's close. It's close. But, I was really kind of contemplating in my own heart, was I being overly biased with the show? Did I give it a higher score than it deserved? And honestly, you know what? Even if I think that is the case, even if some people don't fully agree with me, I'm going to give it this review. That's why if I had to give it between an A through F, I'm gonna give it a solid A. You know, it's not an A plus, but it's an A. So on Mal, I give it a 9. It realistically, if you had to put a real number on it, it's like a 9.5 in my mind. But you know, I think this show was phenomenal, and I really, truly enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything about it for the most part. Like I said, only had a few weaker moments, and a few things that could have been explained a little better, should have been done, I think, for me at least, personally, could have been explained better. But I really enjoyed it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it too, because I think it was a wild ride. You know, since the OVA was perfect to me, but I gave that, I think, around the same score. But yeah, this was such an amazing show, and I am gonna miss it. It's probably one of the best things about Saturday to me. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below. As always, guys and girls, if you enjoyed my review, think of hitting the subscribe button for more reviews like it, liking the video, sharing the video, checking my Patreon, etc. I will talk to you guys later. Darling the Franxx might be a little delayed, only because I have a few things I forgot how to do, so I do apologize for that. If not, if it's delayed until like 10 o'clock possibly, I'm sorry, I'll probably put it out till tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Don't give up hope with me on that review yet. I'll try to get it out today as soon as I can. I'll talk to you guys then. God bless you all. Have a good night. I forgot because it's already like 7 o'clock at night. It feels like still light outside, so it's messing me up. Until I pass across to the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.